Hi guys, I'm Yasmin.
Hey guys, I'm Latara, and this is
Pieces
Pieces
of
of
Our
Our
Thoughts
Thoughts
podcast.
podcast. How y'all doing today? How's everything been going? It's been nice. The weather's been really good here lately, actually. It's been really
Mm,
good. It's been really hot,
Yeah,
right?
it's been hot
Yeah, very hot,
with the
guys.
breeze.
Yeah, but the breeze been breezing. The wind been
Amazing.
winding. I think the ancestors in the wind right now.
hmm
For real, for real. So today we wanted to come to you guys with how to handle and actually have a healthy connection with people. And what does that look like?
Yeah.
What does that look like? What does that look like to you?
Well, for me, healthy connection starts with basic respect. You got to have respect for not only yourself, but you have to have respect for others. And, respect what the other person has to say. Basic respect. And then, um, your personal values may be different, but still to have that respect for that person and to even go as far as to creating healthy boundaries too. And, have a person, yeah, respect that. Yeah, a healthy connection starts with respect, I think.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, healthy connections do start with respect, honesty,
Mhm.
and boundaries.
Mhm.
And I feel like, and you gotta understand too, you can make connections with all type of people, if it's positive or negative. And I feel like at the end of the day, even when it's a negative connection, let's just say you probably more evolved than the person that you meet or have talked to, you still can have an interesting connection. It can still be a healthy connection. Because at this point you put your boundaries, because some people you just can't get around. You either work
Yeah.
with them or shoot, sometimes they're your kids, sometimes they're your spouse, your mother, your father, close people to you. So
Uh-huh.
basically what we're trying to get to is what does that look like? How can we embrace a more healthy connection with negative people? Because that's probably the hardest part. Because when you walk into a room and you meet a positive person that's on your level, you all mesh just fine. It's
Mhm.
not really hard. But when you walk into a room and you mesh with a person that has a negative energy, how do you go about even handling that? And I feel like when you go about handling that, you should step into your power. Let your energy, stand out more because 9 times out of 10, you can actually take hostage of negative energy. I feel like you definitely can. You know what I'm saying? Whichever one that's more stronger is the one that's gonna outbid the other. And
Yeah.
and go from there. Because if a person is more negative than you are positive and you got negative and positive, 9 times out of 10, that's gonna be a negative connection. But
Mhm.
when you are, more positive than negative, you probably gonna shine bright in it. And the person kind of sees and you guys kind of come to a balance to know, well, I
Yeah.
don't agree with what you're saying fully, but I see what you're saying. So, I feel like those connections are harder for us than the easy peasy, oh, they're just like me. And I kind of like those connections, y'all. I know that sounds crazy to like negative connections, but I feel like every negative connection and every negative encounter I had with people, it has made me analyze what could I've done differently,
Yeah.
how could I handle that differently? Because I'm trying to stand in my power. You see what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it's like basically you giving me a little pop quiz every time a negative person pop in my life. It's like pop quiz. Are you ready? Because this is a pop quiz getting you ready for that test.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So what you think?
Well, I think I like that because you don't want to feel into like a negative person. You want to handle that like gracefully. You want to,
Mm-hmm.
handle that in the most positive because it will neutralize the situation before it
Right.
even can even progress and get out of
Mm-hmm.
hand. So like you don't want to fight fire with fire. It won't
Nah, it don't
it will
work.
just make it,
Mm-hmm.
So I
Flame
think
up.
mhm. So I think like when dealing with like negative people and yes it is like it always seeming to be like a test and then I go back and I analyze what could I have done differently.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when dealing with those situations, I always try to handle it in the most positive manner rather than using my emotions. I want to handle the
Mm-hmm.
situation more properly than to giving them the same energy that they're giving me.
Right,
You
right,
know, because at the end of the day, I know who I am, and I'm not even that type of person. But you want me to act out, and that's just not me.
right.
I'm not gonna act out because that's what you want, and that's what people want. They want to see you act out.
Oh
Don't give them
yeah.
that.
Oh
Don't give them
yeah.
that type of energy. You
That's
know
true.
your truth.
And if you act out with them, then it's just like basically their negative energy has hopped onto you and now they're in control. They have the power. And let me tell you, I don't want nobody to have no power or nothing over me.
Mhm.
You know, and I know sometimes, you get caught off guard. You definitely get caught off guard. I've got tested in a situation just a few weeks back,
Mhm.
enjoying my Saturday. Beautiful Saturday. Do you hear me?
I hear you.
And we pull up at the gas pump. And of course, it's a truck in front of us with a U-Haul trailer or whatever, right? Now we're getting out the, car, we're getting ready to go and pay for, the gas and everything. We at Bucky's, by the way, y'all. Y'all know how they got like 10 million pumps, right? And so, I feel like the entitled man, he's getting out the
Mhm.
car irate. And the old me, oh, it would have been, oh, Louisiana would have came out. It would have been, oh no, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm about the two-piece shoot. But in the midst of that, I automatically knew, because I stood in my power. I knew that this was a test, right?
Mhm.
And as he's irate, we're in the car, and it's making, you know what I'm saying? It's making me irate also, but I'm not showing him that. I was like, you know what? We're just gonna laugh at this. Let him sit there and be in that moment by himself. So everybody's looking around like, who's he even talking to? Because I'm not giving him no energy. So I let his energy fall off and flow, and I let him flow whatever nigga energy he wanted to flow with. But I kept my positive energy. Y'all, that was so hard. Do you know
Mhm.
how hard it was? You know, not fighting. And at first it felt like a coward move. Like that's what most people look at it as. It's not a coward move, because at the end of the day, your energy, that's hard to keep up with that, positive at all times. But
Yeah.
when you can do that in the midst of negative, like, do you know how you didn't locked in on your superpower? So it was like that test. I actually needed that test to see, have I actually changed? Because I know I'm been a type of person 0 to 100.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You disrespect me. Oh, okay. You want to play games? I'm sure I'm about to show you.
Yeah.
But that's no longer there, and I'm glad that's no longer there. Their anger, because you can hurt people, man. You can literally not be a murderer or a killer, and you can kill somebody without even holding on to that much anger. You know what I'm saying? So that's a scary place to be, and I've been in that place. And I'm just grateful like that I'm not in that place anymore. But yeah, we gotta know when it's a test, guys. Like we for real. Because if negative energy come, I'm telling y'all, 9 times out of 10, it's a test. It's 100% you
Mhm.
getting tested. So how you gonna handle it? How you gonna, you know what I'm saying? Are you gonna match their energy, or are you gonna stand in your power? And so yeah, we need to just learn how to stand in our power for real. And
Mhm.
once you focus on that and build on that, you know what I'm saying, it makes you a better person. It makes you more knowledgeable about what's going on around you, for real. Because
Mhm.
I'm just thinking that it's helped me with my anger, lowering some blood pressure down. No, it has done a lot for me to even sit there, and now instead of doing all the talking, I'm observing,
Mhm.
100% observing. Like, oh, you know what, he got negative energy, but you scared for real. Once I got out of the car, oh, he was scared, because I was not using my energy to talk shit to him. I was using my energy to keep within me. So when I got out that car, I'm pretty sure that light was bright, and he
Mhm.
didn't know what to really do. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting up here. He got back in the car. I'm out the car and I'm pumping the gas. He got back in his car, just holding down on the horn or doing. And I'm like, you know what? You're not about that life. You having a
Yeah.
bad day. You're miserable. And you think you about to take it out on me. No, I'm about to ignore you. I'm not about to entertain you at all. And that's what we got to start doing, guys. Now, don't ever turn your back to those type of people, because, make sure we got our defensive mechanisms on, because you don't know what people's carrying nowadays, or
Oh yeah, that's
people
true.
trying to hurt you. So let's be aware, what I'm saying, about that too, our
Yeah.
surroundings, when these negative people come. But know you are protected. Know that your
Mhm.
power and your higher self is gonna protect you. Know that God is gonna protect you. So yeah, I've been tested to make sure I knew it too. I feel like I was tested because I had been waiting on the test. Because I'm like, oh, one ain't came yet. They giving me all these other ones, and it's like I was like, oh, I changed. And I remember saying that I changed, and it's like, okay, the universe, like, all right, let's see that you really changed.
Mhm.
And like I say, I know I 100% changed. So, what do you feel about having also with respect? Do you feel like respect is earned, respect is given? How do you feel like when you make an encounter with a person? Do you automatically give a person respect until they show you something different?
Initially, I always, I there's an initial respect, and then it grows more over time. Like when you start to build these connections. But like if you see somebody in the street, you say, "Hey," I think that's just like a given respect. It's a courtesy. So, but when you build these connections, then you start to have more boundaries with these people. And when you start to have these different boundaries, that's when the respect starts to grow and this trust is built, right? So when you set these boundaries, or you be like, no, I don't want to do this no more, don't be bending to their will, because they'll try to sabotage you, and they'll try to make it seem like you're the bad person in this. Don't bend to their will, because that's not even you. That's not even your energy. So when you're dealing with these negative situations, it gives you a chance to analyze the type of person that they are, and it shows you if they actually have respect for you. Say, for instance, hey, I don't want this connection no more. They say, well, why not? What about me? Da da da. It's not about you. It's about me and how I feel. And I know that might be selfish, but sometimes you do have to be selfish with yourself when
That's
it
not
does come
selfish. That's real.
down to your self-respect. If you wouldn't do it to yourself, what makes that person think that they could do it to you? Now that's
Agreed.
real.
Yeah, I agree on that. And I'm gonna talk about respect in I'm gonna go a little
Mm,
deeper with that. The
yeah.
respect in the workplace. Because I
Oh
know you have
yeah.
more issues with that. I think that we all do with that versus, just people in the world. Because you're gonna get some idiots, you're gonna get some people that's what I'm saying, that's not gonna respect you here and there. But for the most part, people are gonna be, what I'm saying, friendly. But when you at work,
Yeah.
you know it's a type of professionalism you have to obtain
True.
while you are at work, and you never let anyone get you out of your character. Now
Hmm.
that right there is a super test, because I know all the time at work it's always one person that's not doing their job but talking and running their mouth about everyone. I'm like you. I've give respect off back until you show me what type of person you are, and I get
Hmm.
to know who you are. And it, what I'm saying, it shows, whatever values and how you ever hold those things, and now I'm not gonna even say beliefs, because everybody believe in different stuff. But just because you believe in different things don't mean that you can come together and make a healthy connection. You see
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So when you guys are at work and somebody is, what I'm saying, pushing your buttons or trying to bring you out of there, and they don't have respect for you, I feel like they shouldn't be doing a job anyway. You know what I'm saying? In my book, your ass is fired. But if you're not the
Real.
supervisor, because I know a lot of y'all have dealt with where you have came to the supervisor, you have handled it with utmost professionalism. You took the steps, you let the person, know, they didn't change it, Then you go to your supervisor, and most of the time, the supervisor, they don't change nothing. They
Mhm.
don't change nothing. It's like, what I'm saying, you went on deaf ears, to them. And some people got good supervisors that it does change. But when you have that type of environment that it does not change, just stand into your power. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to either give me respect or I'm going to take it. And that's just how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, because if we got to work in this building for 8 hours or 10 hours or 12 hours at a time, and I got to see you Monday through Friday or whatever, you know what I'm saying, whatever the shift is, we gonna have a level of respect,
Mhm.
because it's you or me at this point.
Mhm.
And if you have to remove y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all something too. Don't stay um at a job that's not respecting you. And I know that's easier said than done, because nowadays it's hard to even find, what I'm saying, jobs. But find a place that is at least treats you with some type of dignity and some
Yeah.
type of respect, for real, because I think that is a deep issue. Now that I've changed careers, I have went from truck driver to going into doing, administrative work, office work, getting into the corporate side of things. That was a hard change for me,
Mhm.
because people are, backstabbing, talking behind your back, starting unnecessary drama, not doing their jobs, not even respecting you. So you have to find your place in that situation to overcome that. Sometimes you gotta take a 1 and 2, you know. And I understand that you come to work and you do your job every day, and then you got these other people that's not. But they should. I really feel like that's the hardest. Working at a job is the hardest thing. I don't care what nobody say. Kudos to everybody who go to work every day and sit there and deal with so many different things and still come out on the upper end of it. Because guys,
Mhm.
it's getting hard out here to really have healthy connections with people, because everybody is so uptight, and there's so many things that's going on in the world. Everything's so high. You know what I'm saying? People, the divorce rates are higher. It's just a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
So, and you have to understand, most of the time, people not respecting you. It's not even you, especially when you didn't do nothing. It's not you, it's
Mhm.
them, right? It's their life. Their life
Yeah.
is probably miserable, you know? So,
Yeah, but like even with that being said, even if your life isn't going completely how you want it to go, you could be having the worst day of all, and you could separate yourself from people. But that don't mean you go out into the world and you spread your hurt and your pain
mm-hmm,
onto people that didn't even do nothing to you.
right.
Now that's just plain disrespectful. Now that is just cruel.
It's immature.
And and then when you got these people in charge and they bring their problems from home to work, you shouldn't even be in this type of environment in the first place, because you don't even know how to separate the two. You
Right.
need to know how to separate
Yes,
the two.
people do need to learn how to separate
Don't bring your problems
work
here.
and your problems. I agree with you on that. People really need to dig deeper into that and know to distinguish, okay, when I walk through these doors, whatever it
Mhm.
was that bothered me and that's gonna make my day worse, I need to drop that off. You can pick it back up when you walk back out the door and get in
Yeah.
your own car. But when you go through those doors and being a supervisor, what I'm saying, being a leader, and a lot of people don't understand, just because you a supervisor or a boss, that don't make you a leader. A leader
Exactly.
and a boss is two different things. To be a leader has utmost respect. A leader has gratitude. A leader
Mhm.
has compassion. Do you get what I'm saying? A
Mhm.
leader is going to show you to be honest. And a lot of you may be like, well, they don't pay me enough for that. Well, guess what? You're not a true leader. Because at the end of the day, a leader has to have all those things. You have to have some type of emotional intelligence to know when something is wrong with your team and your people. Do you get what I'm saying? And you may feel like, oh, I'm not a therapist or a counselor. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when you see a person is having an off day and you're the supervisor, you're supposed to be in leadership, you pull them to the side and ask them, hey, I see
Mhm.
you kind of off today. Are you okay? And just doing that alone, even if they don't tell you what's wrong. Doing that alone changes the energy.
It does.
It changes people's energy. It changes people's minds. People, we need to get more better at giving a fuck about people, because it has got to the point where people like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care about people. You treating a human being the way that people treat people is crazy to me. You know,
Yeah.
I've never, you know what I'm saying? If I got in any confrontation with you, it's 9 out of 10. It's because you brought confrontation to me. I'm not bringing no confrontation to
Exactly.
you. You know what I'm saying? So don't come and try to, bash whatever I'm doing, because I'm in my positive vibe. I'm in my light. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I have my negative things too. But I know how to balance it out. I know how to balance that out. So we need to learn, for real, how to talk to each other, and have that respect for each other. And that's a big problem nowadays,
Yeah. People
right?
don't even know how to communicate. And when
People
I say
don't.
communicate, I mean communicating honestly. People won't know something until you tell them. And then half the time, you got to tell people how to even treat you to begin with.
You do. You do. You do.
Because if you don't tell those people how to treat you, they're just going to treat you dead wrong.
They are. They
So,
are.
yeah, you
And
got
this
to
is so
tell them.
true. Because I've worked with jobs that have like, oh yeah, you're doing a fantastic job. We want you to be this or that. And they take their time to make things happen. And that's just so
Mm-hmm.
disrespectful to me. I don't care. Nobody say, don't disrespect, don't play on my top like that.
Not like
Like,
that.
to my worth, I know my worth. And for
Mm-hmm.
you to, treat me the way you're treating me, it's unacceptable. I'm sorry. And y'all, I'm telling y'all the truth. I will leave that job. I will leave that job. Yes, well, you can prepare yourself, save up your money. I know right now it's hard to even kind of even try to save, but see, then that's where your power comes in, to trust in what, what I'm saying, the universe is doing for you. Trust the process. Because if you
Mm-hmm.
wake up every day and you hit that alarm clock or whatever on your phone or whatever, and you wake up and you like, oh, another day. It's time to find something else, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And we gotta stop letting our fears stop us from finding something else. It's time to find something else. It's time to move around until you find that place where somebody respects you to the T.
Yeah, I'm so big on that.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely big on that. Like I say, every interview I do, I tell them at the end, okay, now that you interview me, let me interview you. And this is what shocks people, because I have got all kind of faces like, oh, okay then. Yes, because this is not just an interview for me. It's an interview for you too. Can you hold
Mm-hmm.
up? You asking me, can I hold up to your standards? Can you hold up to mine? How are you gonna treat me at this workplace?
Mm-hmm.
You
That
get what I'm
part.
saying? How is it a good culture workplace? Is it, what I'm saying? Do everybody work together as a team? Like, how is this? You know what I'm saying? How does this place work? But yeah, I'm interviewing you too. So you might as well go ahead and you're gonna give me respect. Even if you don't want to give me respect, that's fine too. Guess what? You're gonna give it to me, because at the end of the day, I'm giving you the respect. And that's where
Mm-hmm.
my energy transfers from me to them, where they got to give it to me, guys. I have many people that did not want to give me the respect. It is not my fault if I catch on to something faster, if I do my work the way that I work. That is just me. That's my work ethics. Don't get mad at me because yours is trash, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people want to pat on their back when they're doing half-ass work. And it's like, you don't deserve no cookie. You're not doing anything, you know what I'm saying, that's making this better for any of us. But the respect thing, y'all, don't let these jobs, what I'm saying, disrespect you, like, for real. Because that places a toll on you. And if you've been working there over years and years and years, you become to not have confidence in yourself. You become to not have that self-worth in yourself. All that's a
Mm-hmm.
trickle effect. So your job should match your energy. I feel like,
Absolutely.
right? Hmm.
Absolutely.
Definitely, I feel like it should definitely 100% match. You guys pick careers that match your energy. Pick a place that matches your energy. Because if you don't, and it's hard to find it, I'm not gonna even lie, but pick it. It matches it enough. It matches it enough.
Mm-hmm. And then also with having these boundaries, with going to these jobs or building these connections, you gotta have your non-negotiables that you set for yourself, and then that you also set for others. What you set for yourself is what you should also, which should also be reflected in others.
Correct.
So when you say no, I'm not going to stand for that. Stand on that. Like, let your yeses mean yes and your no's mean no.
I agree.
Because when that person, you can't say no and then that person do it, be like, well, it's different because it's Johnny. No, forget that it's Johnny. Let your no's be no's.
Right. I agree.
And then, especially when it comes to these jobs, when you bring up an issue and it's not being handled, I think it's time to move on. And I think my generation, we're pretty good about that.
Yeah, I feel like you say your generation is good about it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, your generation, and I'm gonna say this, y'all, because I know that they give cause like she's 21, and I know y'all give the this generation flat for how there are no tolerance, you know, you know what I'm saying, type of generation. And actually, y'all give them flack on that, but I salute y'all for that. I do. That's one thing about this generation I salute, and I do like the younger generation is it's just certain things that you're not about to take. You know what I'm saying? And even and it that came about too in my generation too, but we was a little more, you know what I'm saying? They try to say we was a little more humble. But at the same time, were we really humble or were we really just beat down and we just was taking, you know what I'm saying, things that we shouldn't take? Because I know for a fact, you know, when I was being raised up, it was like, oh, you find a career, you stick to it, you stay there for 20 years, you retire. I don't have that mindset. I don't have that mindset at all. I go where to respect that. I
Yeah.
go where you're gonna pay me for my your services. You're gonna pay me for that. We're gonna come to an agreement to where you're gonna pay me for that. And if I do go to a job interview and let's just say I know my skills are high, right? And they're in demand. And you tell me, well, we only can pay you this. And I'm telling you what I'm asking for. And you don't try to meet me in the middle or try to meet me to that, then guess what? You're not for me. And y'all, that's what we got to start understanding. We got to stop taking less than what we are, you know what I'm saying, worth. And I know that's hard to do, but once you get into that energy, it will happen. It will flow. You know, it will flow. 100%.
100. Because I look, speaking of like pay raise, so he gonna give me a raise, right? And it's not. He basically said I wasn't even worth the dime. He said I seen the work that you do. Mind you, I'm doing work that's not even my job, and I'm not even get. He didn't even want to pay me 25 cents, y'all. I said, yeah, you're done.
Yeah, because if you're doing over and beyond what you're supposed to be doing and know that and your supervisor is not even seeing it and not
Yeah.
compensating for that,
Now
oh
you're
no, it's time to
undermining me.
go. It's time to go.
I
It's
think.
time to go. It's time to go. It is 100% time to go. You know. But yeah, I respect the younger generation on them actually have a no nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of older people say, "Oh, the young people live in a fantasy." Some of y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Some of you do, and I understand why some of you do because guess what? We did too. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's what we got to come to the agreement on. You sitting up here bashing the younger generation, but we thought the same thing. So stop playing. We had that fantasy world in our head when we was in high school that at 25 we were gonna be married, at 30 we was gonna have the house and the kids. We had that same fantasy until you get into the world and you begin to realize certain things. That's certain things not even your path.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Certain things it's not gonna go that way. It's not gonna happen like that. You know what I'm saying? But what I do like is the younger generation. It's like when they say they want something to happen, they gonna keep doing until it happens. You can't tell them no. Oh, I can't be this, right? And they
Right.
like, okay, bet I'm gonna show you. You know, I like that drive and determination for certain things. You know how the younger generation reacts to certain things. So, and like I say, in all generations, it's something that we all do that's like, okay, now that's crazy.
Yeah.
We just not evolved yet. But once you start to get evolved, I feel like you need to have that no nonsense attitude. No
Mhm.
nonsense. We're not dealing with that. Not today, not ever, not in this lifetime. You know. So y'all, to be honest, on that note, I'm gonna say this: respect, 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 and more respect.
Mhm.
Make sure people are respecting you, your boundaries,
Mhm.
the type of, and make sure they're connecting to you on the type of frequency that you want to them, you know what I'm saying, be connected to. And I, like I say, I understand you cannot. I know a lot of people feel like, well, I can't control what other people do. You actually can, because it depends on how you release your power to them. When they come to you with something and you feel like, oh, I can't control that, he got all in my face. Oh, it's a way for you to control that energy. It's a way for you to harness that negative energy and bring something powerful out of it. Trust me, it ain't easy, and it comes with a lot of practice and a lot of work, but it ain't impossible. It's not impossible. So what I leave you guys with today is, man, don't let nobody disrespect you. Don't let nobody treat you like you're nothing. I
Mhm.
don't care who they are. Let them know. Let them know. Don't be
Mhm.
passive aggressive and like, oh, okay, I'm gonna let you slide this time. Because if you let them slide this time, then you're gonna let them slide another time and another time. And now they got you under the rug with the dirt, treating you like you are or a ground and walking all over you like a floor. So don't let nobody do that, y'all. Let's get more healthy connections and let's you know what I'm saying, take their respect back.
Mhm.
Take that respect back. And it was, you know what I'm saying, good today to talk to everybody. And I'm glad that I hope that everybody is having a great day. I
Yes.
give you my love and my light and my compassion on your journey that you're taking and you're having. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day.
Yes.
And this is Pieces
Pieces
of
of
Our
our thoughts.
Thoughts.